everybody? Back again with Project Hurricane. I'm still going. I got parts in the mail, but I got some stuff done. So as you guys can see here, we got our vibrant catch can set up. Now, we buy all the parts and then we make our lines for these cars. Now, I absolutely love this setup. It is a dual setup, so I go to both valve covers. I'm running everything in -10 AN. This is a breather style catch can, which is just awesome for boosted applications. Now this was gonna be like a 2-inch hose, but I didn't like that style, so I just kind of looped it. And then this side uses a nice fitting, ducks down, runs along the back of the motor back there, comes up and over to here. Now, we also just installed, you can't really see them, but those are our FIC 1650 fuel injectors, and we have the fuel lines. So this is our out, so it's going to come in over there, go through, run out of there, up this hose, and right into here into our aeromotive fuel pressure regulator that I already mounted. Basically what happens is you run it into the top, that holds pressure. Once it goes to whatever it's set for, it allows it to come out the bottom down there. So once it comes out the bottom, it's going to return to the tank. So we're running a full return style setup. Now, like I've said before, this is because I want to be able to run any motor combination I want in this. Once we decide we're done with this motor, we're going to keep this car and just push this car to the limits of whatever it goes. So slowly but surely, we'll probably make it faster with fiberglass doors and Lexan windows, because it's not a street car. So we're gonna make some other cars street cars and keep this as our pure drag only car, nothing but. So the last parts that I'm missing right now, I'm missing some conversion pieces to go from 10 AN, so that's a -10 on that side, down to a 4. So we gotta convert it all the way down to a 4. And while we're doing that, we have a -4 to -4 with an 1/8 inch nipple basically, or a hole, so that we can put our fuel pressure sensor for the nitrous kit in that. So that will make sure that the nitrous kit has the correct fuel pressure and let it still be safe, because then if we see a drop in fuel pressure, we will get the nitrous cut off and it will no longer be spraying. Then we'll just be boost only. And that will be safe, guys, because we'll pull timing for the nitrous, so it will be good. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. That's how you want to run it. Whenever you run nitrous, you want to have a nitrous pressure sensor and a fuel pressure sensor, so that way, if you have too low of nitrous or too low of fuel pressure, it just will not work, and that way you will not blow up your car as easily, I guess, as easily. So coming around to the back side of the car, I did get a little further. So in the back side of the car, we have one of them plugged, and then we have a line running out of the bottom and going to one of our fuel filters. Again, I gotta look and see, they are interchangeable. So we have a 10 micron and a 100 micron, and we just running that into a 90 into our aeromotive. I'm thinking I'm gonna mount it like right there. That way, if like anything for whatever reason happens and somehow we get water up in there, it's not on the bottom, it's off the bottom, and that way, you know, if it does pull a little bit, we'll be okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. I do have a couple fittings coming. So the other fitting that I have coming is a fitting that basically is going to allow me to put it through the bulkhead. So it's basically a -10 that's long and has 2 nuts so that you can put it through the metal, and then nothing will ever rub because that's holding it tight. So I have a couple of those coming so that we can make sure nothing is going to be in the way, and I don't know how I was missing those before, but I can't find them. So once those get here, I'm going to be able to finish it up in basically a couple hours. So everything else is going to be set, it's going to be ready. It's just going to be a few fittings, run the line, attach the line, and then go time. So we're back working on Project Hurricane. I swear, last time before it's running. This is gonna be it. We're finishing it today, and then it's gonna go in the dyno, and we're gonna be making all sorts of boost and all sorts of power. So, fuel system. Right now I've got it basically plumbed from the aeromotive A1000. So we need to move it to the next one, which is going to be another filter. And then we're gonna use a AN fitting. It is for a firewall, essentially. That is one of these bad boys. So one of these bad boys right here, this is how you get your AN fittings and your lines through any sort of metal or plastic or any type of wall that's separating you. So you're gonna drill a hole, slide this in, and then you're gonna basically tighten that down. That makes it a secure hold that we can put our fittings on the other side and keep our line running, and we won't have any movement. We won't have anywhere where the line can actually rub or break or get cut or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a line, drill a hole, put this in, and then we're gonna go under the car and keep running. So much later in the evening, it's done. All right guys, so let's check it out. We have everything on. The nitrous is hooked up. I literally just have a few things left to do, and they're very, very, very minor. So obviously we have our boost reference and vacuum lines converted over to 3/8. Our nitrous is hooked up, and we have the sandwich plate basically in there. Freaking throttle body plate. To make room, we did flip that throttle body just to make room, so we have more room from the turbo. Makes it much easier. We are running everything AN fittings. We're using an air motive fuel pressure regulator. Got our nitrous tapped right in. So all I have to do is I have to run a ground to there for the nitrous, which it was over there, so I'm just gonna move it from there over to there. And then that's literally done. I'm gonna redo this wiring because I don't like how that's sitting. Then I have to wire the Thermal Zero turbo blanket so it doesn't fly off. That is essentially it for tonight. I'll show you guys the back of the car because all of that stuff is done. And then I'll show you under the car where we ran all of our lines. So as you guys know, we're running a UPR battery box, Flaming River cutoff. Okay, we have our Nitrous Express, bottle, lightning valve, blowdown tube, everything. Our 2.5 gallon fuel cell, full return style, obviously using all nice vibrant fittings in here, and our Aeromotive A1000 fuel pump. So really all I have left to do is I have to change that one wire for the nitrous system. I have to add and move that ground wire for the nitrous. Technically it's the fuel pressure sensor for the nitrous. It's a safety switch. And then I have to wire up our Aeromotive fuel pump and wire that into my switch panel on the dash. And then tune the car for these new FIC 1650 injectors. And just hang on because it's going to be fun. So let's get her. Pretty simple. We got the drain line goes through the wheel well. The other line comes up, wraps around. Both lines follow under the car. Just like so. Plenty of room. And then they attach up through there, and that goes into the lines through the bulkhead fittings. And those bulkhead fittings obviously go over to our tank and everything that I just showed you guys. So that's it for under the car. I'm gonna go ahead and get these other things done probably in the morning, and then we will start tuning Project Hurricane and getting her ready to try and hit our 9-second pass. So you can hear it. We're set at 58 PSI. Got to put the seat back in. So you can see we got no leaks. Pump's humming away. And you can see we're making return. It's a return style system. And there's no leaks. So that's it, it's installed. We're at 58 PSI, which is what we should be at. I got C85 in the system. So it is time to go build the tune for it. For our 1650 FIC injectors, that's fuel injection clinic injectors made for big power. We got our VP C85 that we're gonna be using. I'm extremely stoked. You guys have no idea. So let's get this sucker on the dyno. Let's see what kind of power she makes. All right, so we made a few changes. We're getting ready to start it up. We have basically just the boost reference for the wastegate because we want to make sure that it actually opens when it's supposed to. So it is on its own line. Okay, then we have the line coming off right here, going back. Now this goes to the brake booster. We want that. Now I have it teed off to another vacuum line. Then going to basically a vibrant vacuum block. That's got our boost gauge attached to it. We got a hard line coming up for the blow-off valve, and then a line going across on the back to our fuel pressure regulator. So it's really hot out here, but I've just been double and triple checking everything. We got our boost gauge installed here in the car. Let me show it to you. So that's where I'm putting it right now, mainly because it'll be easy to tune and easy to see, so I can see if I spike. But you know, all I gotta do is put the seat back in. We obviously have our nitrous mounted and hooked up. The button for the trans brake and line lock. But yeah, I don't need any of the gauges back behind there. So I'm basically just gonna wedge it in there essentially with different size of rubber tubing, and I can see that directly through the steering wheel right there, so that'll be pretty good. And back seat, we went ahead and I hard mounted with some basically some big washers and screws in everything, because I don't want it to come up while I'm driving. And the only reason it'll come up is because obviously we have no fuel tank under there anymore. Everything in the back here is done. So no fuel tank, nothing like that. So there's absolutely zero reason why those wouldn't jump up. And they're basically gonna hop up purely because of the wind coming under the car and trying to come into the cabin. So trying to avoid that. Now tell me what you guys think of this. I'm thinking of this Thursday taking the car to the track and just running it as it is. So no fenders, no front bumper, and no hood. Just on a test and tune. That way we can see how it's launching and everything like that. So we might do that, I don't know. But right now we turn the fuel pressure down to 55, and it is ran obviously to the boost reference and vacuum lines so that it will increase at a 1-to-1 ratio as the car sees boost. So this is a full return style setup using nothing in the stock system. Hopefully that will help us, because I know none of the other guys ran this, and that's probably or could be a reason why they failed a loss of fuel pressure. I've never had any really good luck, or I've liked the stock Ford system. It just hasn't seemed to work very well, and we haven't had consistent results in our tuning with it so far here on Big Power. It's just, it varies in its fuel pressure, which I don't particularly like. That makes it hard to tune and not safe. So we're gonna set it up here with all the automotive stuff. We're good to go. Startup video coming at you here. So we're getting ready for our first startup, guys. This is a cold start. We haven't even tested it. This is fingers crossed, all of our data is correct, and it's gonna start up. So startup sequence on this car. Fuel pump on. Primed, we got everything there. It's returning fuel. Key on, and start.